Hi, welcome to the Pro-Life Guy. In this episode we're going to be asking the question, is a fetus just a clump of cells? A couple of weeks back I found myself engaged in an online discussion, and it didn't take long before someone brought out one of the old classic pro-choice chestnuts, and they said, I can't believe you pro-lifers make such a big deal out of a clump of cells. They were talking of course about the fetus. Sometimes you hear people using that sort of terminology. They might say that a fetus is a blob of tissue or it's a product of conception. The key question that we need to ask whenever we consider the issue of abortion is it ethically acceptable to abort a fetus? And if you ask that question, is it ethically acceptable to abort a fetus, and someone says to you, well, a fetus is nothing more than a blob of tissue or a clump of cells or a product of conception, they haven't actually given you any important information that you need to be able to answer the ethical question about abortion. Just imagine this situation. Let's say for a moment that you'd never ever heard of cake. You'd never had cake in your life, you'd never read about it, you'd never seen a cake, you didn't know anything at all about cake, and you found yourself around at a friend's place one day and they handed you a piece of cake and said you should eat this. Now before you eat that cake, you're probably going to want to ask them some important questions like, what is it? What's in it? If you turned around and said to your friend, what is cake? And they said to you, well, cake is just a mixture of stuff. They haven't actually answered your question in any meaningful way. They haven't given you the information that you really need to know to ascertain whether or not putting that piece of cake in your mouth is a good idea or not. You see, calling cake a mixture of stuff is technically correct, but then concrete's also a mixture of stuff. So is petroleum, so are charcoal briquettes, so are household cleaners, but none of those things are things that you're going to want to put in your mouth and consume. So when you ask the question, what is cake, you need more pertinent information. In the same way, when we ask the question, is it ethically acceptable to abort a fetus, we need much more pertinent information than simply someone turning around and saying to us, well, it's a clump of cells or a blob of tissue or a product of conception. Why? Because all of those things apply to all human beings. And they also apply to non-human entities as well. For example, I'm a product of conception, and so are you. Mummy and Daddy loved each other very much, and they had special mummy-daddy time, and we are the product of their conception. I'm a blob of tissue. I am also a clump of cells, so are you. A chicken is also a clump of cells. An apple is a clump of cells. But when you tell me that something is a clump of cells, a blob of tissue, or a product of conception, you are not actually really giving me any meaningful information that I need to know. You're telling me what it's made of or how it got here. So if I ask you the question, is it ethically acceptable to abort a fetus, and you say, well, a fetus is a blob of tissue or it's a clump of cells, you haven't answered my question. Instead, you're answering a different question. The question you're trying to answer is, what is a fetus made of? If I say to you, well, is it ethically acceptable to abort a fetus? And you say, well, a fetus is just a product of conception, you're not answering my question. Instead, you're now answering the question, how did a fetus get here? Or why is a fetus here? Because it's a product of conception. But none of those things actually tell us whether or not a fetus is a moral subject that is entitled to the fundamental human right to life. So next time someone says to you that a fetus is just a clump of cells or a blob of tissue or a product of conception, you need to remind them that they are also just a clump of cells, a product of conception, and a blob of tissue themselves. So is an apple, so is a chicken. It doesn't answer the question, is it ethically acceptable to abort a fetus? Thanks for tuning in. See you next time on The Pro-Life Guy. Are you a fan of Life TV on Facebook yet? You're not? Well, you should be. Go there right now. Details are down here in front of me about our Facebook page. Go there, become a fan. If you're not on Facebook, that's okay. We're also on Twitter. Once again, the details are right here in front of me. Go to Twitter and start following us. What? You're not on Twitter and you're not on Facebook, but you are on Pinterest? Great! We're also on Pinterest too. Details are down here in front of me. Get on Pinterest and start following us. If you don't want to do any of those things, why not just become a regular subscriber to Life TV on YouTube? That way you'll get instant notification anytime we post up a new webisode. Oh, and don't forget, while you're here, why not leave a comment in the comment section below? Do you agree with what I've just said? Do you disagree? Do you think I talk too fast? Do you think my hair looks funny? Do you think I'm a nutty pro-lifer? Let me know. Put your comments in the comment section below. Until next time. Kisses! See you next time on the Pro Life Guy.